Hey everybody, today I want to give you a pretty easy fishing tip, and this is about how to catch bluegill, or sunfish, or bream, or panfish, whatever you want to call them. They go by all sorts of names. Everybody calls them all sorts of things. Those little teeny fish that swim around the bass eat, yeah, that's what we're going to try and catch today. It's pretty simple, pretty standard stuff. You're using pretty lightweight tackle. I'm using just a little, I think this is just a light action rod, maybe a medium light action rod. Nope, light action rod. It's only 5.5 feet long. It's a little spin cast reel down here. And I think I've got 6 pounds. So what we've done here is basically we just have this little teeny bobber on there that we've got. And then it's about 3 to 3.5 feet down. I've got, you can see on here, these 2 little split shot weights that I've crimped on there, along with this little size 8 bait holder hook that I've got tied onto the end there. So it's a super simple rig. I just used a Eugene slip knot to tie that hook on there. You can watch one of my other videos to see how that's tied. Like I said, just those 2 little split shots crimped on there. Super small little guys. And what I've got here is just a little piece of a worm, you know, that I've put on there. I'm gonna have to put on a new piece. I've already caught a piece. Basically just a little pond in a neighborhood. Lots of our neighborhoods here in the Austin, Texas area have got little ponds like these. A lot of times they go unnoticed, but they've got a lot. Usually they have lots of good-sized bluegill in them, as well as some bass and catfish and stuff. So these are another great place to look to catch some bluegill. As you'll see, it's got lots of good shoreline cover. It's got some tree or two hanging out over the edge, creating some shade. When things start getting hot, you know, fishing around the shade like that is a great idea. It's got a little fountain in the water there for oxygen in this little pond. So lots of good shoreline habitat. And we're here on a little boardwalk that extends kind of out over the edge of the pond a little bit. And a spot like this, or like a dock, you know, is a great place to look for bluegill, because it creates shade and lots of good feeding opportunities. So, all right, so I've got a little piece of a worm here that's maybe 1 inch to 1.5 inches long, and basically I'm just going to sit and poke it through the worm several times. Panfish generally aren't very picky about, you know, hiding the hook or anything like that, so just poke it through several times to make sure that you've got that worm on the hook pretty well, so that they can't take it off, you know, super easy in like one bite or anything. I'll usually poke it through 3 or 4 times and call it good. I'll probably go 4 times on this one. There we go. See? I'll show you here. That's how I've got it hooked on there. So, let's give it a shot, see if we can't catch one. Now here we're actually fortunate enough to be able to see down into the water a little bit. I can already see several bluegill swimming around down there. So I know all I got to do is just kind of drop it down right here, and I should put it right in that zone to be able to catch some fish. And the idea is, you know, this is going to drop down. A lot of times next to these docks and stuff like this, all you got to really do is drop it right down, you know, next to the dock. They usually hang out pretty close. You know, otherwise, you know, I'm fishing, like I said, just casting close to shore around the shoreline cover. But what we're going to do is we're going to drop it down. And what we're going to want to see is we're going to want that bobber to go completely under the water when a fish bites. And when that happens, we're going to give the rod, we're going to jerk up on the rod just a little bit to set the hook into the fish's mouth, and then we can reel in our catch. So let's see if we can do a decent demonstration of this here. Let's see how well y'all can see this. Alright, let's give it a shot. Just going to flip it out here just barely a little bit. Let it drop down. And there we go. Just like that, we caught our first bluegill. Quick little guy. So you saw there, the bobber went completely under the water, and then I just gave it a little jerk and caught him, just like that. There we go, little guy. Toss him back. We still got our worm on there, so we can even keep fishing without having to put another one on there. As long as you've got a good chunk of worm on there, You don't need to worry about replacing it. Let's go at it again. Watch that bobber. Got him. There's number 2. Alright, so now you guys have seen kind of how easy it is to catch some bluegill. We're just going to keep fishing here for a little bit and see how many of them we can catch. Just have some fun for a bit. There we go. Got another one. There's a good one. Alright everyone, so as you can see, fishing for bluegill is pretty easy and you can catch quite a few of them when you spend a little bit of time doing it. Just in the short amount of time that I was here today, I ended up catching, I don't know, a dozen of them or so real quick. So hopefully these tips help you all out, and hopefully you can use them to go and get your kids out fishing and get them excited about fishing. It's a great easy way to go catch a bunch of fish, or if you're just trying to get into fishing yourself, trying to get a better understanding of it. Hopefully this will give you a starting point. Doing this gives you a little bit of confidence to kind of move on to bigger and better things. So hopefully this all helps, and remember, you're only one cast away from making your day.